planners and bullet journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello planner babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much, and if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, I wanted to share with you today my absolute favorite black writing and drawing pens. I am housing them all right now inside of this pen case that I've had for ages that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was, I don't know, probably $12 and something back when I got it a while back, and I believe I had a 50% off, not coupon, but I believe they were on sale for 50% off, because you know at Hobby Lobby they only have the 40% coupon every day that you can get on one regular price item, but they have sales every week, and this I believe was 50% off back when I got it. Now, I do definitely have some other black pens at my disposal, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. My husband calls me a pen snob because I don't like to use pens really other than these. I do have them for whenever I need to sign something because I don't want to use my really good, beautiful pens that I do art and write into my bullet journal and planners for posterity in. So, but I have them for when I need to sign something and I'm doing something for something other than myself really, and then I have them for like get-togethers for other people who could care less about what the pen is. It's not that big of a deal for them when we get together and do crafts and planning and all that. And then if I have like my goddaughter, which I hope I'll get to see again sometime soon because they live in another state, for her to do some art, or a friend's grandchild or something like that, or to just write or draw, etc. But these are the ones that I absolutely love for different reasons. Some I love more than others. Some I can use for just about anything, and some are really for specific purposes. Okay, so let me share with you. Oh, and I'm going to buy some more after Christmas. Yeah, I can't help it. I love pens. I love good quality pens. Okay, so here we're going to start from the front, and we're going to go actually right to left, front to the back in my perspective. So this is Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen. Those are these pens that are here. And I want to try to tell you based on the function and the permanence or light fastness of the different pens. So this one, and what type of ink they have as well. So the type of ink, the light fastness, and sort of the purpose for using them in terms of how I use them. So Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen, of course, is an artist pen. Lovely. It has India ink. So I'm going to try to bring it up close. I don't know if my camera's going to want to focus on the little bitty lettering, so you may not be able to see it, but these are all, the ones that I have are all in black. They are, again, they have India ink, and they are waterproof, and they have maximum light fastness. Okay, so maximum light fastness means that it's archival. Usually a lot of pens, art pens, will say archival ink, but this one says maximum light fastness. And so what that means is that over time the ink won't fade, or it will fade the least amount possible. So just think about when you go to a museum and you see some really old art, and maybe they did it in ink or a dye or something, and over time it doesn't have the same vibrancy as it had back when they created it, and some of it you can't really see. Or maybe you'll see a letter in a museum or even in a movie or a video, and they're from something ages ago, maybe in the 1800s or even the early 1900s, and a lot of it has faded. Well, this is permanent ink that has maximum light fastness, so it shouldn't fade very much over time, which is awesome. It's waterproof, meaning whenever you write with it, if it gets wet, the ink won't fade. But India ink has very strong pigmentation. So if you ever work with just liquid ink to do calligraphy or to do Inktober and you get bottles of ink, the India ink is the most pigmented in my mind, just very beautiful. And then it's got all different types of tips. It's probably got maybe the maximum of tip styles of all the pens that I have. So this one is an extra small. It's really small, and I have found that all of the really small tips for all the pens, they don't last very long. And maybe part of that is because maybe I write too hard, or maybe it's just because it's just a really small tip. So I've got several extra smalls in here because they don't last long. The smalls definitely last better. They have a stronger tip, and it's about this size. Hope you guys can see. Just making sure my camera focuses on to see as best you can. So that is the extra small. I'm sorry, that was the small. And then it also has a fine tip, which is a little, to me, the fine tip and the medium tips are about the same size. So this is the fine tip, and let me get a medium tip. Now I've used a lot of the medium tip in my bullet journals. So they look like they're very different in size, right? So, but after you use them a little bit, I feel like they start to flatten out. The tips start to flatten out a little bit over time, and I can feel the difference between the fine and the medium, but I don't see the difference that big after a little while of using them. Okay, and so those are those, and those are typical types of tips that you would see. You know, they're more square or flat-ish. And then we've got this 1.5, and I don't really know how to describe this tip because it's more of a bullet tip, but it doesn't really say that, or actually it's not really. It's sort of between a bullet and a brush tip is the 1.5. And then I have I'll get to this big one in a second. Then we have this brush pen, or brush tip, that looks like that. It's a brush for sure. And then we have a SB, which I believe stands for small brush, like that. And then we have the SC, and I have no idea. I didn't look it up. I have no idea what SC stands for. So, but that is what it looks like. It's kind of, oh, I know. It should be small. Make sure I'm focused. It should be a small chisel tip. Okay. All right. And those, and and I got one more. So I think I have all the tips. Don't quote me on that though. There might be some other tips out there. And then this is like a giant brush. It's a really big brush tip is what we have right here. Okay, so what I like and dislike about these, what I love the most is the ink. It's just really highly pigmented and it just stands out really well. I love that there are so many tip options. So you could do a black and white piece of art or a doodle in your bullet journal, or you could do all black and white, just set up and everything in your bullet journal, and you have all these different tips that could have so much different variation, all from one product line, and that is awesome. What I don't like is I feel like the ink goes out faster than I want it to. I just feel like it doesn't last as long as, say, the Pigma Micron. So I don't like that, and I don't like how I feel like the extra small tip doesn't last very long at all, and that the fine and the medium tip tend to become basically the same size pretty quickly. But I love them. I love the stuff that I love, I really love, and the stuff that I don't like, I just grab another pen that meets those needs. So that is the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen. Now we come to the Tombow Mono Pen, which is my absolute favorite for doodling and working with watercolor. It is a water-based drawing pen by Tombow. Of course, I love Tombow dual brush pens in all the different colors. It is a water-based pigment ink marker. So it has pigment ink. It does have a good dark color, a good black, just solid black, no sort of grayish tint color. And it comes in 01, 03, and 05. And I feel like the differences between the sizes is pretty good. So here is the 01, and the tip does not like lose its power. I know y'all see me waving. I just want to make sure I have a good clear picture. So I feel like the tip doesn't lose its power. I mean, this tip, I can write with a 01 Tombow Mono for ages. I mean, it's like the main one that I use, and sometimes I have to remind myself you've got other sizes that you can work with. So this tip is amazing, and I'll just show you what the other sizes look like. So this is a 03, and then I'll just hold the 05 next to it, and you can kind of see the difference. So you can really see the difference between those two sizes there. And so my favorite thing about this pen, well, first let me say, like the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen, it has a very good dark ink. And what I love about it is that it works so well with watercolor. And I didn't mention earlier that for me, in any case, the Faber-Castell does not work well with watercolor. So if I want to go back and draw something over watercolor with the Faber-Castell, for me, the ink just won't go over it. Sometimes it will start to, and then it'll just go to nothing. It just won't work. And maybe it just needs to be dry overnight or something like that, and I'm too impatient for that because I don't have that issue with the Pigma Micron. I don't have to wait overnight or anything for it to dry, but it still isn't as good as the Tombow Mono. And I'm sure that's just because the Tombow Mono is a water-based ink, and so it works better with water-based products. All right, so that is it for the Tombow Mono pen. Now we come to the Fudenosuke. Let's see if I'm saying that right. Fudenosuke, drawing or Fudenosuke pens. I don't think they're necessarily particular drawing, but they are brush pens, these two. So I got a hard tip and a soft tip, and I just recently got these. So, and you have to really look to find whether it's a hard or a soft tip, because it just says it right there. So this one is a hard tip, and then the other one is a soft tip right here. And then it says it is water-based pigment ink. So I have only, I feel like I need to sneeze. I think a sneeze is coming on. I apologize in case it does. I have only been using it in a different journal that I have right now to underline some stuff. I haven't started drawing with it or anything yet, so I don't know how well it works with other like watercolor and all of that, but I'm sure it will work well because it is water-based. But what I do know from my use of it more in drawing around things that don't have watercolor. So I've been doodling around some stuff on like 100-pound gloss paper. So one of the things I'm happy with it is it writes really well on glossy paper. It dries quickly, and it has a beautiful dark pigment ink. So it is gorgeous. Now, this is what the tips look like. So this one again is the hard tip. Oops, gotta be in frame. So there's the hard tip, and I believe the soft tip looks a little bit softer. It's definitely softer, but they're both pretty firm. So they're not I don't know if you can tell, but this one is just a little bit fuller. This one in this hand is a little bit fuller. It's just a little bit broader. So the soft tip has the green casing, and it is a little bit broader, and but neither one of them is super soft. They're both pretty strong, but the soft one is definitely softer. So it's not like a Tombow dual brush pen type of soft tip. It's strong but not hard. I guess that's the best thing that I can say. And then the hard one isn't too hard either, but it's not soft. That probably makes no sense. But if you try it, you might know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that is it for the gosh, I can't talk today. Fudenosuke water-based ink pens. And then we get to the Pigma Micron. So I have them, you can see here, I have them in 01. I have all these because I buy tons of them because I use them to write in my bullet journal, and then I'll also draw in them as well. A lot of times I forget I didn't switch to a different drawing pen, because this is also a drawing pen as well, and I'll just start doodling with it, and it works fine with watercolor on top of it, which is awesome. So all of them really, I haven't tried this one with watercolor on top of it yet, the Fudenosuke, but I'm sure it will. But because these are water-based, the Faber-Castell has worked fine with me if I watercolor over it. I just haven't done that in a really long time. And this works fine if I draw first in watercolor, or if I watercolor and then draw over it. It is not as good as the water-based pens, but it is pretty good. So I don't really usually have any issues with it. So I have it in the 01, the 03, and the 05, and I have a bunch of them. Now they also, oh, I know you guys heard the train, or you might have heard the train. If you're not familiar with my channel, I live right by a train, and it, it does its thing sometimes. So it has become part of just the nature and the experience of my channel. Okay, so 01, 03, and 05. I'm going to take the tops off and probably driving my camera crazy by jerking. So sometimes I just want to wave to tell it, I know I'm giving you a hard time right now because I'm zoomed in so closely. But these are the tips. So this 03 is kind of worn down, so I should give you a new one. Let me find a different 03. But the 01, and that one probably is too. But the tips do look a little bit broader. I'm going to try to find a different 01 and see if it looks. Because 01 and the Micron is definitely, yeah, that's a better tip, is definitely broader than the 01 from the other other pens that I've shown you. So make sure I'm giving you a good picture of what these look like. Yeah. And then so this one's 01, this one's 03, and this one's 05. So the one in the middle is the 05. Okay, and I love to write with these because I know these say, oh, I need to tell you what they say. So this one it actually says it's archival ink. So you see there, archival ink. And it is micro pigment ink for waterproof and fade proof fine lines. So 0.25 millimeters, this one. So they all have my archival ink, and they're waterproof, and they work really well. So I use these because they write just writing stuff, journaling, bullet journaling. They write really well. You know it's going to last. It's archival. If your grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids read what you wrote years from now, they should be able to see it and read it just fine. And then they also are good for drawing. And good for drawing for just about any media, probably all types of media. Yeah. So that is all of my different, now they come in other sizes. They come in like a 003 and a 005 and a 001. They also come in lots of colors. I have some of the 01 in colors. They have a brush pen set now, but I haven't tried that yet. So we'll see if I get around to that. And yeah, they're just a really good, they're a good multi-purpose writing and drawing pen. And then the only thing I have left, because these are not favorite pens. This is an overflow of black pens. But what I have left are the Sakura Jelly Roll pen. Sakura Jelly Roll pen. And this, of course, you're probably familiar with this pen. It's more of a bullet tip, but it's a really good pen for broad ink when you need to have something broad to write. This one's a 06. They come in 08. Oh, here's a 08. So, oops, I just dropped something. So here's a 08. They look almost the same on the tips. And let me see what they say about, there's nothing on here about function or anything. But this is a nice pen too. I don't know if it's permanent because I don't remember if I've ever read. It's probably on the package. If you know, go ahead and comment below. And also comment below, what are your favorite pens? Your favorite black pens, your favorite writing pens, or writing and drawing pens, or just drawing pens. And that's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment and share. It really helps my channel a lot. Also, I have 2 Facebook groups. The one for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there I do giveaways, and we try to stay in touch just about every day with all different types of posts. And then the local one is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ, and we normally meet in person, but because of COVID, we've just done everything on Facebook. And then if you are interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic, and you can follow me on Instagram to see all of my creative ventures and adventures at Organized Planner Chic. And until next time, everyone, happy planning!